Today, I want to show you how you can automatically turn incoming emails into ClickUp tasks, totally hands-off after your setup. But I also want to show you, why would you even want to do that? Hi everybody, I'm Yvonne Heimann with AskEv.com, and I am a business efficiency consultant for digital entrepreneurs. And if you are ready to systemize, optimize, and automate your business, you are perfectly right here. So go consider hitting that subscribe button or even hitting the thumbs up to tell YouTube you like what I'm talking about and to stay up to date when I'm releasing new videos to make your life more easy, streamline your content creation, and optimize your digital business. Now, as I mentioned, today I want to talk about how to automatically turn an incoming email in Gmail into a task in ClickUp. Completely automatically, completely hands off. But let's start with, why do we even want to do that? With all of this email coming in, why would we want to turn an email into a ClickUp task? And how do we make sure not all of those emails are becoming a task? Now, in my use case scenario, Ecamm was nice enough to send me a Rocketbook because they know, even though I'm digital, I still love handwriting my notes. Now, the other issue is I have used my iPad for notes in the past, especially with client calls. But the problem is you have unlimited possibilities in there, which means I have about 10,000 notes in there. I have no idea where they are, and it's just as messy as it was before. Now, with this Rocketbook, I am limited to a certain amount of pages. The even better thing is I can scan those with the OCR feature, which recognizes my handwriting, turns it into actual physically typed text and all those things. So with that, my use case scenario is that I want to be able to take a picture and scan a page of my Rocketbook, have that recognized and build that email and all those things, and then automatically turn that email into a ClickUp task and assign it into my call space with my clients. I know, there is a lot of things going on. We're gonna go step by step, and this is going to be a multi-step video series actually. So we are starting in the beginning of how do we actually turn specific emails into a task in ClickUp? Now, before we get all of this started, there is one piece that you really have to pay attention to and that you have to make a decision on right now. That is a naming convention. To be able to determine which email to turn into a task, we need to know how to identify those specific emails. In my case, we are going by the subject. As you can see right here, this is an email that has come in from my Rocketbook. I set things up over there for the title to look a certain way, and we're going to talk about this in this specific Rocketbook video coming up next week. So hit the subscribe button that you get notified when that's coming up. And as you can see in this title right here, I have PH, which is an identifier for my client, and then I have the date, which is automatically generated within Rocketbook. Again, coming up in the next video. Today, you just have to decide what is that data point that is going to trigger that forwarder in Gmail. Now that we have figured out all of the pieces we need to make this happen, let's get the tech set up and let's make this happen. Let's get out of Gmail and over into ClickUp. Now, I am right here in my call list in ClickUp. This is where I want those tasks to end up in. I am setting this up for one specific client and one specific use case scenario. With my PH client, I want those emails and those notes to be shown as a task right in here. So going into the call list, I am opening up my list settings and I am grabbing these email instructions. What I need is this email right in here. This is the integrated feature in ClickUp where you can send an email to a ClickUp email and it turns it into a task. Now, you need to be careful right here. When we copy this, what happens is it actually adds some additional stuff, but we'll get to this in a second. Now, heading back to Gmail, you need to go into your settings and we need to set up a forwarding address, add forwarding address, and copy this in. As you can see, the copy link adds a little bit more. We need to get this one out and go all the way to the beginning right before the A right in here and take this piece out too. You only need that specific email from ClickUp. What you also can do is just mark this specific email, copy that, and use that. What that copy button does, it adds the whole URL stuff to it that turns it into, hey, you want to send an email to this. But all we just need is that email specifically, not the whole extra coding on it. Now that this is in here, we hit next. And what's going to happen is Gmail wants us to verify that we are allowed to do this. So we are adding this. We now need to confirm this. Cool. An email has been sent to confirm that I actually can get those emails and am the one that gets that. To do that confirmation, you need to get back into ClickUp, refresh, and look for that task that is generated by that forwarding email. I know. Having fun with this. Right in here, that forwarding email that Gmail has sent out already generated a task in here. And we need to grab this number and paste this right in here and verify. Now, Gmail is set up to be able to forward specifically to that call list right in there. Awesome. Now all we have to do is set up that automated forwarder. So let's go back into my inbox. And as I said, I already have an email in here that I know this is what I will want to do. I know that every single email that I will be sending with notes specifically for this client will have that PH dash, simply because I decided that's how that naming convention is going to be happening. Opening that up, copying this, and then we do a filter message like these. Now, if you can see, the from means it pulls in every single email that I sent from the Rocketbook, but I add to that subject that PH dash, and we are creating that filter. Yes, I know. That's fine. And as you can see, it already filtered out only those 2 emails that came from my Rocketbook email and have the PH dash in the subject. Now what we're doing here too is we also apply that filter to those 2 matching conversations because I want to pull this into ClickUp right now, and we are forwarding it to that email address that we just set up as a forwarding and create filter. Now what does this do? Now that we have this whole workflow and this whole process set up, every single time when I take a picture of my Rocketbook page, and in my Rocketbook scan, there is the title of that scan starts with PH dash. It gets emailed into my Gmail account, and Gmail automatically filters that and forwards it to that list. And then when you go over to ClickUp, so now what you can see is, look right here, there it is, my PH. In the description, you will see the email body text, which is fed from the OCR. You'll learn all about that in the next video. Also attached is the original email as well as the PDF that shows my lovely handwriting with all of the things that are on there and that I had on that scan. Now, again, make sure, hit that subscribe button, because next week I am going to show you the next step on how we take those notes in Rocketbook, how we make sure that we don't have to name everything while uploading and all the things, and adding that additional step to our email automation so that we can easily turn Rocketbook Notes into tasks or assets in your ClickUp and for your clients, so you easily and effortlessly can use your beloved Rocketbook in combination with ClickUp. And if you want to learn more of this or figure out how to use ClickUp best for yourself, come join our office hours. Every Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific, we have office hours and we nerd out about all things ClickUp and content creation, and maybe even a little live video. So go check below. I have the link there for you, and I'll see you next week as we follow up on how to work with your Rocketbook alongside ClickUp and make it really easy.